it's almost like as you get older, we're never the same as we used to be as kids or as young adults, but you always want to try to stay active, man. You want to stay active and, just for personal cause, but also for our kids. If I can stay active, I can get out there and play ball with my kids when I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s. I can still be out there playing.
Right.
That's big. Especially I want to see them grow up, and I want to be an active part of their growing up. And I think it all comes back to your sight, man. If we all stay fit and healthy and have a good workout regimen, that will help us into our later years.
What I want to ask you a question. Nowadays it seems like, and this was different for me, and maybe it's just my perspective, but when I used to hit the weights, it was just all about, it was an enjoyment process, an exploration process where you'd see what you could do the next day and you'd challenge yourself. But nowadays it just seems like there's such a obsession with like a six-pack and
oh yeah, I know.
And I guess what I'm getting at is for the young guys listening, where can they find the enjoyment in this to make it something that's a lifelong endeavor instead of just trying to obsess about it, and making it not enjoyable. I mean, if I had to obsess about keeping a six-pack 24/7 for the next 25 years, I mean,
yeah, right.
You've been there. How do you go along this journey and enjoy it and still keep in good shape, without driving yourself crazy?
But I think the main thing is have fun. Have fun at it, man. Don't set your goals too high. Make them realistic, and then once you get to that goal, reward yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I mean, you look at these guys in the magazine. Say you're a 14-year-old kid, you're starting out. You look at someone like, you look at Sean Ray in a magazine, and, you expect to be Sean Ray in a month. It's not going to happen. Make it realistic. Set your goals that, I'll gain 5 pounds. I'll put on 5 pounds of muscle. I'll have a decent workout. I'll set a regimen, say, I'll have a workout regimen for 6 weeks. And I say, you know what, I'm going to stick to this workout for 6 weeks. And I'll have one cheat day each week. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I'll weigh myself. I'll look at myself in the mirror, and I'll see how I feel. And then you'll see a few changes. And that's excellent. It's the young guys out there have to set their goals realistically and understand that it takes time. And if you set realistic goals, you'll reach those goals. And every time you reach a goal, it's enjoyable, man. It's a sense of accomplishment. And people don't realize that the human body can change very quickly, but you got to be consistent at it, and take it day by day. Every day, just say to yourself, I'm gonna eat right today. I'm gonna train good, and every time I eat something, say, is this gonna help me or hurt me? And set realistic short-term goals. And every time you reach that goal, you reward yourself, and then before you know it, a year has passed, 2 years have passed. Wow, I'll put on 15 pounds. I'll put on 20 pounds. People are asking me. What are you doing? You look good. And every time someone asks you, what are you doing? Wow, you look good. What are you doing? That's motivation. I mean, the more times people ask you, wow, what are you doing? Can you help me with this? They're coming to you for advice. That's like, wow, someone's actually asking me for advice. I must be doing something right. And I think you can set your goals higher and higher and higher. You go from that to you gain 20 pounds. And then it's, maybe I'll enter a natural show. And then maybe you didn't place, but then you do another one, maybe you win it. And then you go from there. Maybe someone sees your photos. Maybe they want to use you in a magazine. And you see what I'm going with this?
Sure.
Slow, steady progression. But you know what, though? You always make it fun. You always make it fun for yourself.
How realistic is it for these guys that want to have abs 24/7? I mean, just to... it's not just that they want to have abs; they want to be absolutely shredded. How realistic is that goal to stay, shredded wheat 365 days a year?
It's really tough. It's really hard to do. I mean, obviously, I think the main factor of staying really shredded year round is age. I mean, the younger you are, the better chance you have of doing it. That's why you see a lot of the guys. Especially to me. NFL is a prime example. you got a guy like Chris Johnson. I mean, Chris is pretty shredded, but Chris is in his 20s, and Chris has a real good, solid training regimen. So it's possible if you have a real good regimen and you stay injury free. There's a lot of factors that go into it. It can be done, but I think you got to be very consistent with your training. You have to have a good diet. You always have to train. You can't miss a day. But it's age, and the young guys definitely have the advantage. It is possible. The only downfall, I think, is to stay shredded all the time. You can't make any real significant muscular gains. I think it's possible. It's hard to do. I mean, I think a lot of the bodybuilders that live in the Northeast have the advantage over the guys down south. They were always saying how they can take the winter off.
Right.
Just relax a little bit, eat a little more. They can grow a little more. They don't need to be, ripped and tanned and shredded all the time because it's always warm and you always get shorts on and T-shirts on. It's almost like the Northeast is kind of like you get that hibernation period, that break. And I think for the guys who are trying to stay ripped all year long, it's kind of hard to do because, not only for the muscular gains, but also for just in life in general. I mean, you guys want to go out to a restaurant. I can't eat because if I eat one piece of spaghetti, my abs are going to fill in.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got to live your life, man. You got to have some fun at it. So I think, when you get that's why they always say pre-contest dieting, because pre-contest dieting, you get in that condition. It's exactly what it says. It's pre-contest dieting. It's pre-contest. You don't live your life eating egg whites all day long. Egg whites and water and chicken breasts and cotton sodium and all you can't. That's why it's called the 16-week period when you get ready for an event. You can't live your life. I mean, to keep abs and everything year round on a regimen like that is very, very hard to do. Some guys I'm sure can do it, but that's a tough one, man. But I think getting back to your question, I think it's just to keep it fun, to keep yourself, switch the routine up quite a bit, and I think as far as keeping your abs in the best you can is have a good diet. And like I said, you don't have to go pre-competition diet, but just have a solid diet and keep your carbs moderate. If you want to fill out a little bit, eat a little more. If you're trying to get the abs, cut them out a little bit and drink a lot of water. And but that, like I said, getting back to what you're saying, is that's a very hard thing to do year round. So, and I give all the guys the credit in the world who can do that because I couldn't.
It just seems like year in and year out, the obsession gets worse. I mean, I don't downplay the efforts, and I don't like to, downplay anybody who wants to get shredded. But, back in the day when I was hitting the weights hard and first, having that initial falling in love with the weights period where you're just going in the gym and enjoying it, I just ate. I just ate the food. I just picked up the shovel and started eating. I made great gains, and I'm a small bone guy, so
right.
I just hate to see young guys waste away their young years by trying to stay 150 pounds for the next 10 years.